Good afternoon. We're ready to call this meeting to order. If we can please move to agenda item number 2. And we will have the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Emmons.
Everyone, please stand. And repeat after me. I pledge allegiance. United States. To the republic. Stands. One nation. God. Indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner. So moving on to agenda item number 3, can we get a roll call vote? A roll call attendance?
Commissioner Crooks,
Present.
Commissioner Palmero,
Present.
Commissioner Jackson Kelly,
Present.
Commissioner McFadden, Commissioner Falmer,
Present virtual.
Commissioner Emmons,
Present.
Commissioner Noyola,
Present.
Commissioner Zato,
Present.
Chair Gutierrez,
Present.
and Vice Chair Chavez. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 4. Approval of the minutes. We could take a few moments if you have not already looked at the minutes. And actually, once someone is ready to make a motion to approve the minutes, please let it be known.
Chair, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion from Commissioner Palmero
Commissioner Crooks, I second that motion.
and a second from Commissioner Crooks. Before we take a vote, can we open up for public comment? Public comment specific on the approval of the minutes. Have none present. Any online? Okay, thank you. Can we get a roll call vote?
Commissioner Crooks,
Accept.
Commissioner Palmero,
Approve.
Commissioner Jackson Kelly,
Approve.
Commissioner Falmer,
Approved.
Commissioner Emmons,
Approve.
Commissioner Noyola,
Approve.
Commissioner Zato,
Abstain.
Chair Gutierrez,
Approve?
minutes are approved.
Thank you. So minutes are approved. Let's move on to agenda item 5. Okay, so the notice of meeting was sent on May 16, 2025, and that is sent via Go Delivery from mva@subscriptions.lacounty.gov, as it is every month. If you do not have an email subscription, please visit the mva.lacounty.gov website. and scroll down to where you find latest updates, and you can put yourself on the list to receive those emails. You can also find on that website the public comment form. In addition to that, if you are, even if the public comment is not done in advance, you can always be, if you're present, you can always sign up for public comment here or online. So we are still working with the departments to schedule various presentations. I know we have this meeting booked and next meeting booked. We still have some other spaces for the upcoming meetings where we're going to add some of the future agenda items. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the significance of Memorial Day. This is a time for us to honor and remember the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country. With that, we have the 27th annual tribute to veterans and military families happening this Saturday, the 24th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So at Arcadia County Park. The best way to honor the fallen is by serving the living. So please come out if you need any services. We're gonna have, there's resources there, equipment displays, food trucks, live music, a lot of stuff goes on. That's probably one of my favorite events every year. So please join us at the tribute to veterans and military families. So any public comment on agenda item number 5? None present, any online? So moving on to agenda item number 6, Assembly Bill AB 53. So we have Jonathan Cross here or online. Okay. So can we, we can move agenda item number 6 and 7. We can switch them. So we will move on and come back to agenda item number 6. We can move on to general public comment. So this is general public comment. There's, I don't know, none in person? Okay, any general public comment online?
Yes, I have a comment, Chairman.
Sounds like a familiar voice.
Yes.
John, how are you?
Good, we're doing well, thank you. It's good to see you,
Good.
Dennis.
Yeah.
So you have, let me give you some time. So whenever you're ready, Mr. Anderson, you have 3 minutes.
Very well. Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, I'm here to comment about the proposal for a Pacific Branch National Veterans Park. And I'm familiar with the proposal. This is something that would shift jurisdiction for virtually all of the housing property at the West LA Veterans Campus from VA to the National Park Service. It's a novel proposal, and it is also, though not unprecedented. It takes into account success in a mixed-use facility at the Presidio in San Francisco. And the thing I'd like to say about it is this. We have recently the executive order from the president to make available over time housing to accommodate 6,000 veterans in the LA campus. We really don't know what shape this will take or what form it will take or by what means it will be delivered, because we just don't know anything beyond the language of the executive order yet. But I would say this, in my own experience in encounter with VA institutionally and as a service-connected disabled veteran, I've never seen them get foremost to providing housing in an expeditious way. The VA West LA campus suffered through the depredations of Veterans Row for many years. They had to litigate. They responded defensively in the litigation. There is still judgments pending, and over a period of 10 years, 700 housing units. I think everybody in this country knows we can do better for unhoused veterans than this. So if there's a novel proposal for the Park Service to take custody and move with fresh eyes and a fresh view on the subject and a focus of energy on getting veterans housed and doing it in such a way that it provides for community, doing it in such a way that you don't have an institutional feeling to the housing, but rather that you have a park-like setting that honors the service of the veterans. That's what I think would be an optimal solution. It's hard for us to foresee what the horizon is of this administration's approach to what will be decent housing for veterans, but we would love to see something not only decent, but better than good. And I think the proposal to shift custody from VA, which does not put a priority on housing, it does a good job on lots of things, whether that's healthcare, administration of
Thank you, Mr.
benefits.
Anderson.
Anyway, that's my take, and you're welcome to it.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Appreciate it. Any other public comments?
Yeah, I'd like to jump in. I'm Raul Berrigan, current District 7 Veterans of Foreign Wars Commander. Also an Afghanistan veteran, OEF. So my district covers from the LA County to Ventura to Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. I'm happy to say that on May 3rd, our district held our annual convention, and we voted in support of creating the Pacific Branch National Veterans Park, as what Dennis was referring to. You know, this was also this resolution that was created at our post level was adopted at our district level by unanimous vote in favor of. And this is now moving on to our upper echelons of leadership for final approval for our national consideration. You know, one thing I want to remind everybody that at the VFW, nobody does more for veterans. I'm a proud district commander, and I'm proud that my district and definitely my home post took a decisive action in support of new ideas, just like the Pacific Branch. And we hope that its legacy and service to veterans will continue to grow. And I hope that this commission takes that into account when we're looking at how to advise the West LA campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Berra. Any other public comments?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name and feel free to start.
My
Yeah,
name
three
is
minutes.
Crystal Rains. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. I'd like to address some concerns about the New Directions program on the Greater Los Angeles VA system property. I was on the Veterans Committee for one of the aerospace companies that helped found New Directions in the early 1990s. Other committee members were on the original board of directors, and we received monthly updates. When I came to the VA in 2009 and saw vehicles with the logo on campus, I was happy that the program still existed. Unfortunately, I've learned more about the existing organization that's not aligned with the original goals. From their current website, the New Directions for Veterans mission is to empower men and women who served in the military and their families to lead productive and fulfilling lives. The original mission of the program was to get veterans off the street, support training, social skills, and sobriety. While I understand that housing first and harm reduction are more appropriate than requiring sobriety, it appears they've lost other goals along the way. There was a tiered rooming, depending on competencies and maintaining good behavior, from a multi-person room to a duo, and final tier was a private room, encouraging self-determination. There was occupational training and support on site with professional kitchen and IT room. In 2023-24, veterans are warehoused with no occupational training on site or by the program. Some veterans are unable to care for themselves with health and safety issues. stories of soiled diapers being left in showers and others not bathing, other basic hygiene. There is no tiered program with 5 to 6 veterans to a room, regardless of efforts to get training or find a job. This is in the men's building. In a women's support group in 2024, I learned that the New Directions Sepulveda Permanent Housing had no fresh food resources. Once a month, they might get food, but it was all past the expiration date. Found that New Directions does not have the staffing to pick up and distribute the food on the same day, so the distribution happened 2 days after pickup, putting most perishable prepared food past the use-by date. Thank you to John Fulmer, one of your commissioners. They now have a weekly food delivery on the Sepulveda campus, but it's not because of New Directions, who manage the housing on the Sepulveda campus. In April, I learned that the Oasis Women's Building on the West LA campus was without hot running water from August 2024 to February 2025. When a new resident complained, she was told their hands were tied. Follow-up complaints got it restored, but women were 6 months without hot water in their housing. Last week, that person who was asking for basic human living conditions was kicked out of the housing, given a few hours to pack and no time or support to find different housing. A woman veteran kicked out of supported housing for asking for humane conditions. Over this past year, I've asked various people about the New Directions program. I've been told they are separate and are leasing the property and not controlled by the VA. The various problems I have referred to are health and safety violations by LA County standards. But I'm wondering if they're not being held to these regulations because they're on federal property. I would ask that you look into this.
Thank you, Ms. Raines. That's your time. Any other public comment? No public comment?
Hi. Good afternoon. This is Mike Aguilera-Gaudet from the 3rd District. I just wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate Commissioner McFadden on her award of the Meritorious Service Medal. We served together in the 40th Infantry Division, and as an administrative officer, it pains me to see it take so long for a deserving officer to get an award, but I did want to mention that she finally did get her well-deserved Meritorious Service Medal. So congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Yes.
Okay, please state your name and you have 3 minutes.
Okay. Hi. My name is Joe Bello. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here today in strong support of preserving and fully realizing the original mission of the Pacific Branch of the West Los Angeles Veterans Affairs Campus. This 400-acre site was established in 1888 as a national home for disabled volunteer soldiers. It was never meant to be a hospital alone. It was intended as a sanctuary for veterans to live, recover, and build community. As the Daily News editorial titled, Let VA Be VA reminds us that for decades, veterans were displaced from this land, and much of it was leased for non-veteran uses. Fortunately, we are seeing progress. The VA has committed to building 1,200 units of supportive housing, and more than 170 are now complete. But as the article points out, this campus once housed over 4,000 veterans, and it still could. The Pacific Branch should be a national model for how we care for veterans, not through charity or displacement, but through long-term, purpose-built housing and services managed by the VA. We cannot depend on outside groups or slow redevelopment plans that fall short of the urgent needs. Let VA be VA means restoring this sacred ground to its rightful purpose, serving those who served us. That requires vision, investment, and the political will to act. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Hello.
Yes, please state your name and you have 3 minutes.
Hi. Hello. This is Donald Zelaya. Good afternoon. I'm with the Department of Consumer Business Affairs. I'm here to share with you all a stakeholder engagement opportunity. We are currently working on providing the board a series of recommendations on a potential pet equity ordinance applicable to rent-controlled units. It's an ordinance that would allow renters to have at least one common household pet. And as part of that, we're conducting a series of stakeholder sessions and we're welcoming input from members of our veteran community. Our hope is that this potential ordinance may be beneficial to our veteran and military families, and we want to hear from them. So for more information on these sessions, it can be found online at dcva.lacounty.gov/rent webinars, as well as we are in contact with some of the DMVA staff, so feel free to connect with them and they can introduce you to our team here. So thank you for your time and hope to see you all and members of the veteran community and military families at these sessions.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment?
Yes. My name is George Rivas. I was a corporal in the Marine Corps. I had a couple combat tours, 2 to Iraq with 3-7 and 1 tour in Afghanistan with 7th Marines as Colonel Newman's on personal security attachment. When I was over there, over 74 Marines and Navy guys were killed in action in the Helmand province of Afghanistan from October 24, 2009 to September 28, 2010. I've lost many buddies to suicide since I've been out. A lot of them were not given the chance to decompress after what they had to do. I would like to share my opinion on the op-ed, Let VA Be VA, Who Else Can Serve the Pacific Branch, published by Veterans Day. I received my healthcare as part of the VA Greater Los Angeles healthcare system, and for that I'm grateful. On top of that, I have had great experience with the community care. But the situation at the VA West Los Angeles in terms of restoring the historical Pacific Branch is not healthcare. It seems obviously to me that for the past decade or so, VA has struggled to adapt to the mission of restoring a veterans community on the property. I believe it's time we explore alternatives management scenarios for the North Campus. The idea of turning the North Campus into the first of its kind for Veterans Park seems like a great way to change the conversation from past failures to optimistic about the future. Let's leave the past behind us, celebrate the history of Pacific Branch, and build a better tomorrow for our community. Semper Fi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further public comment? No more public comment. So moving on to agenda, well, can we move back to agenda item number 6 now? Yep. So for agenda item number 6, we're looking at Jonathan Cross from Legislative Affairs. You, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Gutierrez and Commissioners. My name is Jonathan Kraus. I'm with the CEO, Legislative Affairs and Intergovernmental Relations Branch. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to come and speak with you today. As I understand, you wanted just a short briefing on Assembly Bill 53 by Assemblymember Ramos. So I just wanted to provide an overview of that legislation for you, as well as just an update on the current status of the bill. So AB 53 would exclude from gross income for state income tax purposes retirement pay from the federal government for military service, as well as annuity payments from the U.S. Department of Defense Survivor Benefits Plan, not to exceed $20,000 of income. The bill would also limit the exclusion to taxpayers with adjusted gross income of $125,000 or less, or $250,000 or less for a surviving spouse or for spouses filing a joint return. And the bill would provide this exclusion from state income tax purposes for tax years 2025, so starting this year through tax year 2029. The bill is currently in the Assembly Appropriations Committee. Today it had a hearing, but basically is referred to what's known as the suspense file. In the Appropriations Committee of each House, for any legislation that has significant fiscal impact, The bills are referred to the suspense file. This Friday, the committee will be going through the suspense file and voting on which bills will pass out of the committee and which will be held in the committee for the year. So we'll have a better idea of the status of the bill after this Friday. So there's not a hearing on Friday with specific arguments on the bill. Basically what they do is just read through a list of hundreds of bills with an indication as to whether the bill is being passed out of committee, if there are any amendments made to the committee, or if it's being held in committee. As you may recall, this bill is similar to Assembly Bill 46 from last legislative session by Assemblymember Ramos, which also would have provided a state income tax exclusion for veterans retirement pay and survivor spouse benefits. That bill did not have the limitations that this bill does, and I'll speak to that a little more in just a moment. And that bill was held in the Senate Appropriations Committee in the last legislative session, so it did not advance. This year, I believe for the first time also, though, Governor Newsom in his January proposed budget included a provision in his proposed budget to account for an exclusion of the veterans retirement pay as well as survivor spouse benefits with the same provisions, the up to $20,000 and for those with an income of $125,000 or less, or $250,000 for filing jointly. The proposed revenue impact to the state, according to the state budget, is $130 million for this coming fiscal year, and $85 million annually thereafter. Just want to note there is a slight discrepancy in the Assembly Appropriations Committee's cost estimates. They put the cost estimate at $110 million for fiscal year 25-26 and $75 million for the subsequent years. And so AB 53 was amended in February, basically to align its provisions with the parameters that the governor proposed in his January budget. And when the governor released his May revision of the proposed budget last week, he made a point to say in his comments that he was still keeping this proposal in his budget to allow in the budget for the state income tax exclusion for the retirement benefits. So it still has, several steps to go in the process, but again, we will know more whether it advances out of the Appropriations Committee this Friday, at which point, if it does pass out of committee, it will go to the Assembly floor and then repeat the process being heard by a Policy Committee, Appropriations, and the Senate floor later this year. And we'll also know if that provision remains in the state budget. The legislature must adopt the state budget for this coming year by June 15th. So the legislature is currently having discussions and will be holding hearings in terms of their plan for the budget. They are currently facing a projected $12 billion shortfall. The governor proposed some cuts and other measures to address the shortfall in his May revision of the budget. But so over the next month, we'll know more in terms of the agreement that the legislature and governor come up with as far as what is included in the budget. So that's a brief overview, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Commissioners?
Yeah, I have a question. Thank you for being here, sir.
Sure.
For those of us that want to learn more about, say for example, just like the assumptions, like the financial projections and hey, how they came up with how things cost. Do you have any recommendations on further resources to kind of look into some of those projections?
They do have the budget committees do have hearings. I haven't seen any specific information as far as a breakdown either from the Department of Finance or the Appropriations Committee, other than the figures that I gave you in terms of how they arrived at those calculations. But usually it would either be through the Department of Finance for the governor's proposal or through the Appropriations Committees for the legislative, for the bill. Thank you.
Any other questions? Commissioner Evans?
Mr. Kraus, thank you so much for being here today. So when you were discussing the unique attributes of the costs of this bill, have the long-term benefits of having more veterans come back to California or stay in California been part of the discussions of this bill?
Yes, I mean, certainly in the analysis, and Assemblyman Ramos has been, I think, making that point when, he's presented it to the Revenue and Tax Committee. There are several organizations in support of the bill that I think have communicated the benefits as well. Just when the governor presents his budget or the Appropriations Committee prepares its fiscal impact, they kind of just look at the baseline impacts to the budget. But there certainly has been discussion about the benefits as well, and that California is, I believe, now the only state without any sort of tax relief on veteran retirement pay or survivor spouse benefits.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say that I think it would be highly beneficial to promote the long-term and net end benefits of this bill, bringing more veterans back to the state of California and keeping more veterans in the state of California. When we're facing a budget deficit like we are, making it sound like there's more money being pulled out of the state budget just to support veterans doesn't necessarily sound great, but I think maybe we could talk more to the positive long-term aspects of it.
Yes, and I believe the governor in his comments did speak to the importance of why he was keeping this in his proposed budget, despite the budget shortfall that the state was facing. I did want to note the county does not have an advocacy position on this bill, so we've not been communicating on this bill. Any matter dealing with tax policy is a matter of board determination, so it requires a board motion to take a position on the bill.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the commissioners? No. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Kraus. We appreciate it.
Sure.
So any public comment on Assembly Bill on item number 6? On item number 6, any public comment? None in person? Any online? Okay, so no public comment. So moving on to agenda item number 8, Chief Deputy.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for having me today. All right, so I'm going to go through this. I'm not going to go through the slides. I'm just going to give you some highlights that I want to share with you all and then answer any questions you may have. So in April, the department processed over 3,100 claims across multiple sites, with the highest volume at Bob Hope Patriotic Hall and a continued focus on compensation claims. The call center maintained an impressive 93% answer rate, while the Justice Involved Veterans Program expanded services to new courts in both Compton and Lancaster. Our Homeless Services Division assisted 45 veterans and filed 82 claims, while also maintaining strong partnerships with housing agencies to support veteran housing stability. Additionally, VPAN managed over 1,100 cases and played a key role in disaster recovery and outreach events across the county. Moving on to building, Bob Hope Patriotic Hall saw a steady rise in visitor traffic, with the department on track to exceed over 13,000 visitors by the end of this fiscal year within the next 6 weeks. Volunteer support and staffing continue to improve, with 22 hires this fiscal year, and a vacancy rate reduced to 15%. Now, the most important update that I want to highlight is that MVA is awaiting approval of $10.3 million in Care First community investment funding to support our justice-involved programs. This approval is scheduled to be in front of the Board of Supervisors on June 24th. In addition, we've secured over $1 million in opioid settlement funding to support peer and substance abuse navigator services for justice-involved veterans, along with $625,000 in AB 109 funding for targeted interventions. Altogether, once our supplemental budget is approved, our department's total budget will reach approximately $29 million, tripling its size over the past 2 years. This growth reflects the county's continued investment in veterans and our ability to deliver quality services to veterans in our community. And I really want to highlight, just the importance of the advocacy that we do as a department and the role that you all play as commissioners. Our department has seen a significant growth in its capacity and its budget, and this is a significant win for us because we have never received CFCI funding in the past, and this is going to be an opportunity for us to demonstrate what our department can do with the right resources. And as the years go on and CFCI funding continues to be available, we'll be able to expand our services into our community. So I just wanted to definitely highlight that. Lastly, I just want to put a plug in for our Veteran Women's Summit coming next month. We have over 100 veterans already registered, so we're excited. We're hoping to get to 150. This event is just going to be remarkable. We're expanding it from what we did last year. Last year was a great success, but this year's going to be even better. And thanks, Rocio has been part of that planning. But really just highlighting the needs of veteran women in our community is extremely critical, especially during the climate that we're in now. It's important to highlight, what they've done, what they mean to our community, and what they mean to our families. So I hope that, those listening and commissioners here that haven't signed up yet, make sure you sign up. Men are welcome to come to support our women. Thank you. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Chief Deputy. Any questions, comments from the commission?
I have a comment.
Oh, hold on for 1 second. Any from the commissioners? Any comments, any questions?
Maybe we could, Commissioner Fulmer here. I'm hoping we can place this maybe on the next report. Is there a way we could find out what the average response time is for claims that have been submitted, or what the average turnaround for responses are on that timeline? I just wanted to know if that was a data that we would be able to reach.
Commissioner, if I'm understanding your question, you want to know, you want to have additional stats on the amount of time that a claim is open from beginning to end?
Yes, that would be correct. At least with the initial engagement or decision that was made based off what the timeline is from submission of the claim to decision from VBA. That I think that would be something that we might be able to request. I don't know if we could do that at county level, and would love to know that data.
Yes, I think that's something that we can definitely put together and give that information. And I'm not sure if we'll have it ready by the next commission meeting, but I will bring it back to the team and let you all know.
Thank you tremendously.
Commissioner Palmero?
Recently I've been made aware, and this is actually a conversation that's been talked about a lot in the probably since the last 5 years that I've been involved in this community, are rejections from the VA and then the resubmissions. Do you have numbers of those that were approved after a second resubmission or a third resubmission, or how many are not accepted by the VA for the VSO when working with the VSO from MVA?
I do not have that answer, but I can definitely find out for you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the commission?
Yes. I received the email from a colleague of mine that there will be an event here on June 2nd for women veterans.
So I believe the event that you're talking about, is it the AMVETS event that was rescheduled? I believe there was an event last week, Friday, that was rescheduled to June 2nd. That's not an event that MBA is putting together. It's a community organization that is utilizing the building to put that event on. So I don't have additional information on that.
Anything else from the commission? Okay. Moving on to public comment, and this is public comment specific to the chief deputy's report for the department. Any in person? No. Any online?
Yes, please.
Okay, please
My-
state your name.
Crystal Rains. I apologize for interrupting earlier. It's hard to do this online. I want to start by thanking Chief Deputy Sultana. Second time she's solved a problem for me at Patriot Hall. I think she does an exceptional job, and I'm going to stop looking for anyone else when I want an answer. But the second thing is the upcoming summit. I was trying to find information to be able to get to it real quickly. And on the MVA website, there's a calendar. It is not listed there. I do know it's an Eventbrite item. I went and looked in my email and I found it, but I think it should be on, somebody needs to check on that calendar. Thank you very much. Also, the June 2nd event, because I've followed up and I just got information today. It's 10 to 3 on Monday, June 2nd. There at the hall. It did not say what floor.
Thank you. Any other online public comment? No online public comment. So moving on to agenda item number 9. So future agenda items, these are the current ones that we have. I don't believe we have any of these scheduled yet for future. If any of the commissioners have an agenda item that's outside of the county, you can please provide Stephanie with a point of contact for the organization that would expedite getting them scheduled. I believe for the VA stuff, we're still waiting for approval for the VA to obtain approval to move forward with their presentation. Any other items that need to be added or removed? Commissioners?
Yes, Chair. Based on what I see on the screen and from the last minutes, there may be some differences there. If there's any way that we could maybe make sure that both what's on the screen and what we have from the last minutes that they match. Specifically, I wanted to make sure that the item for future that was on the minutes from last time, which was my item on the West LA VA housing development, that we add to that really 2 items that are all collective together. And that is, it's my understanding that the county, I'm not sure which department is going to be putting a report together for the Board of Supervisors regarding the situation at the VA campus and the housing. And I want to make sure that the commission also receives at least a copy of that report so we understand what those recommendations are that are going forward. And then secondly, with that as well, is as we all obviously now know that there is an executive order dealing with that particular campus and expanding it to 6,000 housing units. There is a plan already in place. It does not accommodate 6,000. So it really starts to make one ponder as to how we're going to get to there and what the federal government's plans are and how that is going to impact the local plans that have been drawn up. So I would ask that the department, keep close tabs on that. And as soon as they get any word that they are able to brief the commission so that we can weigh in with any additional thoughts or at least take it to our constituents and be able to come back with information to assist both the department as well as the county.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Chair.
Commissioner
I would
Pagan?
like to just second that, what Commissioner Nayola just mentioned about the concern, wanting to keep an eye, keeping tabs. But we hear a lot of speakers speaking on behalf, making reference to some op-ed that was written, but we're not inviting the other side, right? We're not inviting the people who are already involved in that, in the housing units and the expansion at West LA. So I would like to propose that we invite the Veterans Collective Community Director to come in and speak on what is going on over there. So if we're gonna really understand and do what we can to ensure that all of this is being transparent and in the benefit of our veteran community, I think we should get more than one side of what is going on.
Great, thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, Commissioner Fulmer. Oh, you're gonna go, Commissioner Crooks?
Pardon? I'm sorry. Did you have something? No.
Oh, I have something to add. Thank you, Rocio, for bringing that up. That would be something to check off because as we all know, we have quite a few items here that are left kind of in limbo until we can get a representative in place, which I would like to add an item for fear that to not put a VA representative so it stands in limbo for a while. We did have a recent during this commissioner report. We did make that recent announcement of pet initiatives and services provided to veterans. I personally have dealt in the aspect of peer support with veterans who had trouble with their 90-day intake to rehabilitation programs due to pet facilitation and the inability to find a proper facility for that. So I would like to place on the agenda, I think for ease, potentially reaching out to animal care and control through Los Angeles County to first see what type of resources might be available to be given to veterans who are entering 90-day programs that do not accept pets. That's typically I have run into positions where this can hinder growth and progress to a veteran's current state of mind if they have to make a decision on if they go to a 30-day rehabilitation program or if they surrender their pet. So I'm sure there are a lot of people listening right now that can imagine that many people have trouble surrendering their pets. So, to get a briefing on that and resources available, I think it's right online.
Chief Deputy?
Thank you for bringing that up, Commissioner. So if you heard Donald earlier with the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, part of the board motion that Supervisor Horvath put forward was the pet equity ordinance, and that is going to specifically try to target pets for the military and veteran families. So we're going to work with them to draft specific language around that. That will allow landlords to, it would draft an ordinance to allow landlords to ensure that pets are included outside of the oh my goodness, the service pets ordinances and laws and regulations. So I think that it'll be important for us to, once we have some kind of draft language with DCBA on that ordinance, that we bring it back and brief the commission on it.
Thank you, Chief Deputy. Do you think that would be possible maybe by July timeframe, do you think?
It's hard to tell. It's an ordinance.
Okay.
Ordinances are usually very tedious and long. I've done ordinances in the past and it takes
Was that
months. And we're in the beginning stages of that preparation. So.
was that an ordinance? Was it just a motion or is it an ordinance at this point? Yeah, because I remember seeing the motion. That's when you said that it opened up, it'll turn the light on. But I didn't know if it was an actual ordinance at this point. Is it possible for the commission to actually get a copy of it? Thank you.
So one question I would ask of the department is, can we find out whether or not county ordinances are enforced on the VA campus, or is that considered federal property? Yeah, I think we need to do that for two reasons. Obviously, because of pets, because an ordinance would necessarily trump federal law. And secondly, is that as it relates to the issue that was brought up today by an individual, I guess it used to be a resident no longer there, is that if there is a issue dealing with living conditions that are that affect, health and safety, does the county code enforcement folks have authority over there or not? And again, it's one of those, is it county versus federal? So we may want to. Yes, we do. So we need to know who really has authority in that area. Thank you.
Any further from the commission? No other agenda items? Okay. Commissioner Evans?
Yeah. So just recently, the LA Food Equity Fund provided grants to 31 nonprofits working to transform the region's disconnected food system and improve resident food access. And I believe that there could be a potential partnership into assisting veterans with some of the food equity movements that are happening with the county. And I would like to see if we could get a briefing from the food equity director on programs that are being instituted now within the county realm.
But this is from a county department, so.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
The, let's see, Paula Daniels is the executive director of the LA County Office of Food Systems. I have one other item. Excuse me. Oh, last week, I had the honor of serving a Vietnam veteran who is 90 years old. I scheduled an appointment to help him get his disabled veteran plates. And I just wanted to say thank you to Director Zenner and the staff and everyone else about the level of professionalism and competency to make sure that that happened in such a speedy and timely manner. It was a real joy to see veterans served so efficiently through the County of Los Angeles. So thank you very much.
Great. So any other agenda items?
I just also wanted to comment on that the summit, the Women's Summit that's coming up. I just want to make sure everybody's aware that it's June 14th. We have the flyer here. I know. I just want to make sure, and I also just want to give thanks again to Supervisor Solis, who has been really supporting this event. Her and Supervisor Horvath were here last year. I look forward to hopefully seeing them here this year, and just as a veteran woman to continue to be seen and encouraged, and not just be given like, a donut. Thank you for your service on Veterans Day, as that was a job that I had before. That's what they would do. That's how they thank me for my service, with a donut. But to have a whole day where we are learning and growing and given support, I think that just means so much. And I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out.
So it sounds like we have no more future agenda items. Moving on to public comment for agenda items. This is specific to agenda items.
Merry Christmas.
Any public comments? None in person? Any public comments online specific to agenda items? Nope, no public comments. So moving on to agenda item number 10, Commissioner Palmero's favorite item.
I have nothing to say.
For commissioner announcements, Commissioner Crooks? No?
Only announcement I have, please remember on Saturday, May 4th, a tribute to military and veterans families. Hope to see you all there, even though that's not, it's your supervisory district, is it?
It's for everyone. Yeah,
To everyone,
Fifth District.
We hope to see you all there.
Thank you for that, Commissioner.
We'll be given the governor will be given a proclamation as usual. And can everyone not hear me? As loud as I am? But yes. But thank you.
Thank
That's
you,
it.
Commissioner. Commissioner Palmero.
I just want to just mention that I will be speaking at the Riverside Community College veterans graduation. And it's extra special because I am the first veteran woman that's ever been asked to speak, to be the keynote speaker at that event. So that's a major big deal for me. I think being the first woman to be able to do that.
Congratulations, Commissioner. Commissioner Jackson Kelly.
I want to acknowledge the fact that the American Legion have Legislative Day yearly, and we travel up to Sacramento and meet with our legislative people. This year was the most disappointing year that I've ever experienced. There was one person from Southern California, and that was me. Northern California, the room was filled. So if you belong to the American Legion, and you should try and set aside that day, that one special day that's so important for us to go to the Hill and meet with our legislator. I had 8 folders that I had to deliver independently because there was no one else there from out this area. And one of the things that they discussed was the same bill that our legislator discussed. And that was one of the criterias that they felt would be a problem was the budget, not having enough money to cover our requests to be exempt from the taxes. So that is going to be a major issue. And we had a couple of the legislators that came in and spoke with us, and one of them was our own, that was a commissioner previously, with the sons and military sons. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, oh, well, senior moment. Yeah, I'll come back to it. Anyway, the other thing is that the American Legion have a paper that they do weekly. It's called Grassroots Legislative event, and it tells you all the bills and different things that is covered with the American Legion as far as legislative is concerned. And last week, I was voted Legionnaire of the Week because of the contact that I did in Sacramento and the attendance at Congresswoman Maxine Waters' event.
Congratulations.
So
You too.
on June the 2nd, the VA is having the volunteer services is having their annual fair that they do yearly. This is one of the largest events that they have at the VA for the veterans. And they have games and foods and different things and vendors that are supporting the fair. It's not, it used to be voluntary services, but it's community engagement now.
That was on June 2nd.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner McFadden.
She had one more thing to mention.
I think I mentioned it at the last meeting that I attended the AAA, the Congressional Gold Medal presentation for the 688 in Washington, DC.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner McFadden. Commissioner Emmons?
Nothing at this time?
Commissioner Seo?
Nothing.
No, Commissioner Noyola?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
I'd
Great.
like to
So-
chime in one thing.
Commissioner Fulmer?
Don't worry. I'm awfully, I pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. No, thank you all. With Memorial Day coming up, and Supervisors District 3, May 26th, this Monday, in honor of those that we've lost, is a very big day. We have a Walk to Remember. It starts at the Santa Monica Pier at 7 a.m. and we walk from Santa Monica Pier to Los Angeles National Cemetery. It's myself and a lot of veterans with Emerging Vets and Players, Disabled American Veterans. We all walk to Los Angeles Memorial Cemetery, where we will, Los Angeles Cemetery, where we will have the Memorial Day celebration. At the grounds at 10 a.m. It starts, Los Angeles National Cemetery, and then after the ceremony, we will also have a barbecue on the grounds of the West LA VA. Once again, this is all on Monday, May 26th, and we will be having the barbecue at the Rose Garden. This is located pretty close to the tiny homes in the back next to Building 220. The festivities start at 11 a.m. and they end at around 3 p.m. All are welcome. There will be free barbecue or free food. And we'll also have a youth safety zone as well for families to be able to take their children. It's a really big, busy day on May 26th. So hope to see any veterans or their families or supporters to join us.
Thank you, Commissioner. So for mine, again, as Commissioner Crooks mentioned, tribute to veterans and families is going to be Saturday, May 24th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Arcadia Park. And again, thank you to the Chief Deputy and thank you to Commissioner Palmero for the work that they've done on the second annual Veteran Women's Summit, June 14th at 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. here at Bob Hope Patriotic Hall. And finally, congratulations to Commissioner McFadden on her Meritorious Service Medal.
Meritorious service.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So moving on from the commissioner announcements. Do we have reached agenda item number 11? So if no further comments, this meeting is adjourned.